Alright, today we're going to go for a very silly build, which is incredibly fun. Maybe not the most reliable thing in the world, but it is very amusing to me. And so it didn't bother me at all, the many games I was losing going for this. What I wanted to do was have level 3 Bad Dog and level 3 Sunfish in the same team. Now, with level 3 Bad Dog, we can get the level 3 Evil Book. And I mentioned in the Top 10s video how powerful Evil Book is as a tool for giving weaker teams a chance. At the very least, you can be removing melon, pepper, coconut, etc. from the entire opposing team. And of course, we can set our own team up to have protective equipment to block the damage from the Great One. But then if we also have level 3 Sunfish, we can have the Sunfish at the front, removing all of their equipment first on odd numbered turns, I think it is. I guess Werewolf is even turns and Sunfish is odd. And then when the Great One appears, it's going to hit everything for max damage because they've already lost their melons. Now, in order to make this a bit more sensible, we are going to need an Oyster Mushroom unit. Now, Oyster Mushroom is incredibly useful with Sunfish because, and I guess Werewolf as well, because it only works on 50% of turns. We want the unit to do something when it's not activating. And so Weasel is a very easy unit to select to take that role because we're going to be gaining gold. Of course, you could use any unit really that has a solid in-battle ability. And then on the odd turns, on the even turns rather, we'll have to put the Weasel behind the Sunfish to make sure that we actually get the extra gold and activation. Now, I made a ton of mistakes with this, and I think probably we're going to see me make similar mistakes in the near future. I guess here I also didn't need to buy that rice because we've got 3 rice saved up on the chipmunk. But honestly, Oyster Mushroom is just such a useful item in the first place. It doesn't even matter that we don't have the Sunfish yet, because it allows us to transform any of our shop-only units like Chipmunk, Stoat, or Bad Dog into something that's going to help us get our setup that much quicker. Now, with the extra rice, free rice from the Chipmunk, we can accelerate towards getting level 3 Stoat here. And we can also use the Venus Flytrap with a bit of a discount in order to get to level 2 Bad Dog. Now, actually, a lot of the time these days, I'm taking Bad Dog buy sells, round about this time of the game, just to try and eke out a win or a draw and extend the game a bit longer. It happens all the time where you can, I wouldn't say guarantee a draw, but you can massively increase your odds of a draw just by buying the level 1 Evil Book. Here I take Behemoth. The main reason for having Behemoth in the pack was because I was trying to record something else. So this was actually just a pack that was adapted from a different purpose. But with the level 2 Evil Book, we're very, very likely to win there anyway. And the Behemoth is going to be hopefully transformed into one of the tier 6 units that I'm interested in here. And since we actually have the level 3 Stoat, we're just going to save it. Here's a funny example where we actually get the opportunity to steal a bus, but instead I'm just going to stock the Bad Dogs. Having the 2 Bad Dogs saved in the shop means I don't have to look for waffles just yet. And of course, Weasel can just be used to turn Behemoth into another Weasel as well. So all round, Oyster Mushroom is just an absolutely top tier perk. And probably a bit suspect at tier 4. Now we do end up losing here, so we are kind of getting into the danger zone where we can't mess around too much. And so here I sell the Stoat and I get Real Velociraptor. Now actually Real Velociraptor is a pretty good get. The only problem is it has no stats to speak of, and if we're going to be using the Evil Book every turn, the Real Velociraptor is just going to get demolished. So we can buy some protective equipment. I do have the mushroom here, although that obviously is not going to help. I think if the Real Velociraptor gets knocked out by the Great One, the Bad Dog would still get the potato back. But honestly, yeah, we need some stats on the real Velo as soon as possible. We do get Melon as well, so that does allow us to protect our 1-1. I can't remember exactly what happens in this run, but I would imagine once I get the Sunfish, I'm just going to start investing all my gold into buying stats for this real Velo. Because hopefully we're going to have equipment on everything. And at level 3, getting, triple equipment back for nothing at start of battle, very near start of battle, is going to be incredibly helpful. But here's a level 2 snake team. I think we're probably going to lose here. Yeah, still very strong. We don't have any real start of battle disruption. Oh, of course, what am I talking about? Of course we're going to win. We've got level 2 Great One. Yeah, it's always surprising just how devastating that can be. And yeah, here we go. We start buying the food onto Real Velo. At level 3, Great One is going to do, I think, 18 damage. So the Melon is still going to work. But of course, Melon can often get sniped at start of battle or replaced with an ailment. And yeah, I do swap the order around in case we're going to allow the bad dog to be sniped instead. Another team that looks like it's going to take a huge amount of damage from the Great One. Yeah. They do spawn a full board of locusts and launch a bus and some Nordic goats off the screen, I think it was. And then I think we ended up getting Pteranodon there from the Eagle, was it? Which resulted in a 1-1 Great One being brought back to life. That is so funny. And then look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Water of Youth onto the Behemoth, turns into a Sunfish. And so we're basically set up. In fact, it's actually an odd turn as well. I actually have night backgrounds on all the time because it means that the backgrounds are a little bit duller, so it's easier on my eyes. But yeah, it's definitely daytime on the even turns as far as the game is concerned. On the odd turns, sorry, as far as the game is concerned. So Sunfish is going to work this turn. However, I did not think to move the Weasel. And so we actually miss out on the Sunfish value because of that misplay. That was incredibly bad. And I think, yeah, we don't get punished though because Great One is so strong. Very fortunate there. But it's incredibly annoying when you get the setup and then you realise that you've wasted one of your odd turns where you could have seen the combo go off. So now I think, yeah, we're probably just going to leave things as they are. Okay, we're going to move the bad dog to the front and have it become a Weasel instead. Not really sure why. I guess at this stage the 1 extra gold isn't going to make all that much difference. And then we end up buying Brussels sprouts and then immediately replacing it with melon. But it doesn't really matter too much. We have the combo. We just want food now. Full caramel team from Thrill House here. I would love to know if this team managed to win. You don't see caramel being used very much at all in customs. Again, though, Great One just absolutely demolishes. So that puts us on 9. I'm going to use the waffle just to make sure that we've got the evil book guaranteed for 2 more turns, because the game's very likely to be over either way. And then here I make a decision which, yeah, in retrospect doesn't make a lot of sense. However, it would have made sense if I drew or lost. So the thinking here was just to put Raccoon up the front to take away equipment before the snipes go off. But of course, on an odd turn like this, the Sunfish is going to remove the equipment anyway, or it's very likely to. I guess it wouldn't remove Mushroom or something like that, but yeah, for this particular turn, the Raccoon doesn't actually do anything. But on the turns where Sunfish doesn't activate, it would actually have some kind of value. So now we rearrange a bit. We're just going to let the Raccoon get blasted by the Sunfish. And it gives us a big scaling opponent. Every time I see this username now, I think of Knights of the Old Republic, even though it's not quite the right initials. But yeah, very fun to get the double achievement as well. I actually already had the Bad Dog achievement, which is why we didn't get 3 at once there. Now we'll look at some bonus clips. Unsurprisingly, this combo produces loads of absolutely crazy rounds. This one actually isn't so crazy. I think it is going to be very close though. We have Lamprey. Lamprey was actually in the pack by accident, just because it was the free-to-play Lamprey pack that I just adapted. You know, that's just the way things are usually, because there's not enough custom pack slots. But yeah, it ends up being a 1 HP scrape. But yeah, getting the level 3 Mammoth 1/1 as well when you have Lamprey from the Stoat Cell is just so clutch. Actually, was this a Stoat Cell? I guess it could have been Mushroom Pill as well. I didn't want to include the entire run here. We're just going to look at this for one specific reason, which we'll find out very soon. And here we end up facing a Mimic Octo team. Level 3 Hedgehog with Mushroom on turn 17, 4 squad. Kind of an odd composition here. But the Lamprey hitting the Triceratops gives the Sunfish just enough attack to knock out the Mimic Octo. And it's actually going to be a pretty comfortable win, even though we keep hitting our teammates. And yeah, I wanted to include this because it happened to be the level Lamprey ribbon, even though it wasn't in a free-to-play mode. And then again, here's a double Sunfish build, absolutely demolishing Rev GT. Yeah, both of us here on turn 11-3, trophies 1 heart, had no chance of getting our builds over the line, but it's always fun to see those matchups. Now this one is crazy. Triple Triceratops, opposing Great One as well. Everything gets wiped except one Triceratops, and then the Triceratops buffs the Great One on feint to get the knockout. Again, we have a double Sunfish here, but this is crazy. I'm not sure if I've seen this ever happen before. It is Falcon copying Great One. And so it ends up knocking out our entire team. Falcon's still one of the MVPs of crazy interactions.